Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm spiritual coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, January 29th, 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you're well. If you're new to this podcast, please be sure to go to my website at lisahopp.com for all about my work, my upcoming events, and how to book an appointment. And for those of you coming back every week and giving your comments, thank you so much. Last week, there was a very good and interesting response. The topic last week was about making sure when you give that you give unconditionally because it helps you to thrive. And many times when we give, we look for that thank you. We look for that appreciation. And what we don't realize, even if it's as simple as letting someone before us in traffic, is that we are doing this wonderful act with an invoice. And when you give an invoice, it means that there's not enough. You don't feel there's enough. You don't feel there's enough to give. And then the universe reads that and returns it to you. Now, of course, this is not aligned with when you perform a job, when you have a business contract to show up to work and you're exchanging your hourly services for a wage. Or if you're a business owner and you're exchanging for, services rendered. This is about personal. This is about feeling like you are abundant, that you are unlimited, that you have all infinite ways of giving, complete ultimate freedom, financial, emotional, in every way. So I wanted to expand on that today and speak about thriving, because we are in a world, we are in an existence where we are taught to survive rather than thrive. But thriving is our birthright. Thriving is what we are here to try and figure out how to do. We have the answers. We know that we are here to thrive. But we can get boggled up by this everyday life, by the responsibilities, by our senses, by all of our challenges. And so it's very important to, as much as you possibly can, and if you can pull it off 100%, stay in the present moment and stay in that element of thriving. Now, what does thriving mean? It means that, again, when you give to a family member, when you give to a friend, even sometimes if you want to extend to give to a customer, that is thriving. Because the more you give, the more you can tend to receive. And there are what I call trends in our lives. Things that happen more than once in an alignment that will show us where we are. And sometimes, for instance, it may be the same thing happening over and over again. Like, why does that keep happening to me? In my personal work, because I am self-employed, every once in a while I'll go through a trend where people will contact me and want me to work without payment. And usually happens all in the same week. And it's actually just happened recently. And people come from their place, their story, their place of not feeling as though they're thriving and trying to speak to the person in me who's here to serve. Now, why would that trend happen to someone? It's a reminder, it's a lesson, it's a test. It is a way of being compassionate but knowing your value. And if you don't know your own value, you cannot thrive. And there should be no judgment. Really, we're not supposed to judge ourselves or others, to be honest. Really supposed to love. And that can be difficult at times. But when I go to have a reaction, a human reaction to someone who does not want to, do the common thing and pay me for my time. And the work is very energetic. Any work is really, if you were to be asked by your boss or someone not to work for free, that would probably get you, and so, it's about time. It's about value. It is about, understanding your worth. And so when I go to be human about it, I will use the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is a Hawaiian ritual prayer, and I direct it within myself because I am having a reaction to someone saying, I want you to do this for me, and I want to appeal to the part of you that does want to serve and care, and all of that. I don't want to go on and on. So the prayer is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you can mix up the words. And so when I say that in an inward exercise way, it not only gives me lightness of being, releases it from me, all my human emotions, it also sends out a vibration of change to that person. And I just did it recently. I just reacted. Without responding, I went into the prayer. And then the person responded back with a little bit of a shift. It's like they felt it. And you can do that with family, friends, employees, employers, vendors, people that you perceive as unkind to you, however you want to do it. You don't say it out loud unless you're alone. You say it within yourself. Now, what's even better, if you can, is as you're saying this prayer, this one line really, or 4 lines culminated together, if you can think of a time when you are in that place. So now you're kind of giving extra dose of forgiveness to yourself and to that other person. I'd always like to use this small example of, if someone cuts you out in traffic and they really come close. When you do the prayer, you can think of a time when maybe you accidentally cut somebody else in traffic. Oh, I've been there. It's all right. All's forgiven. Now, we can't always do that. But in the case of me, of myself or people contacting me, no, I cannot think of one time when I've asked somebody to, or I've asked someone that I should give payment to if they would not receive it. However, it doesn't matter. It just means that a deeper healing in this moment is not going to occur. But when you heal yourself, you're automatically healing others because we're all connected. We're all one. So it's such a benefit. It's such a benefit to do the work within yourself because it helps you feel better. It helps your health. It helps your happiness. It helps, everything. It helps your wealth. And then it helps your environment. It's more than a win-win. It has so many benefits. And you can't, I have to say it has to be genuine. And sometimes we'll talk and I go, okay, I'll say this prayer, but I won't mean it. The universe, that energy knows when you mean it. If you throw up a prayer, it's known if you really mean that prayer or not. But it probably helps to some small extent, anyway, just by the time that you're doing it, but the more that you can really feel that prayer, the better. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. It's about wiping out judgment. It's about wiping out any harm. It's perceptions, beliefs beliefs, by the way, again, are based on perceptions that are not based on truth. Even though sometimes, yes, we can have scientific evidence to back them up or something, but really, they're based on what was dropped down to us. And you can do this with those who are on earth, by the way, or those who aren't on earth. And it's an inside job. And I would tell you, I was teaching a class yesterday and I was giggling because in my everyday life, sometimes I don't count how much I can say this prayer when I'm actively using it. But I feel like it could be hundreds of times a day sometimes. And then other times it's not. But, and you may feel that way. It's like, you'll probably notice if you use it, how often you really have to use it. But you'll also feel so much better. You'll feel better about you, and you'll feel better about your world. Then you'll see changes about your world. And the thing is, you can't change another. You can only change them. You can't change another, I should say, by saying to them, you have to change. You have to be different. You have to do this. If you loved me, you'd be different. If you'd prove it. Oh my goodness, the things that can come out. And that's why I always say the Love Song Station always says breakup songs. Because it's about someone not changing for another. But if you change yourself, then others around you will start to be different. Sometimes they go away. Sometimes they come closer. Sometimes they just give you the apology that you've been wanted so long ago and gave up on. No, it twists and turns its own way. And so know that you're special. Give yourself a hug. Do this prayer. See the trends. See the lessons. So when I tackled it, instead of coming back, and I wouldn't do this anyway, I don't think. I'd like to think I wouldn't. Instead of coming back and saying to clients who contact me, or people who aren't even clients yet that contact me, can you do this favor now and then I'll book an appointment in the future? Instead of coming back at them with a how dare you, doing this work shifts it. And it is handled. And I didn't have to speak my words. I didn't have to go there to a place that made me uncomfortable. And so, or risk making me uncomfortable or making them feel worse. And so it really does handle things. It handles things especially with our relationships. Because our relationships can be work. They're not supposed to be work, by the way. But what I mean by that is I think, yes, I know that our closest relationships are our greatest teachers. But if they're constantly causing you pain, then that's when you have to say, wait, this isn't work. This isn't work that I want. This isn't growing that I need. You have to know when to take care of yourself. You have to know when to back up. And take a step back. Sometimes I take a step back. I took a step back last evening. You take a step back and you take care of yourself emotionally, mentally. Last evening I was wiped out. So I said, tonight I rest. I wait to answer the emails. I take good care of myself. I wait to respond. That's all right to do. Sometimes it's backing up off of obligations. If you need to take a mental health day, take a mental health day. You are worth that. So let's get to thriving now. Everything that comes into us to learn from is about helping us to thrive rather than just survive. Thriving is being open to the infinity. There is enough resources to go around. I believe I probably say this almost every week. There is. And it's not a human fault. We're just taught that there's not enough. That we have to, hold on to what we have and then every once in a while give generously, whether it be to charities, and that there's maybe others getting benefits that we don't get. That is honestly not a truth. Things happen to grow you. Obstacles happen to challenge you, to grow you. But the universe is not against you. That energy is pure energy. It doesn't have a judgment on who deserves what. It will allow the worst person on the planet to win the lottery, a billion lottery. It doesn't matter to it. It is unconditional. And we and it have created angels and guides and beings to help us because that's what we've wanted. Because trekking this world can be tough. It can be really hard. But there's always help by us, ready to open up any door and window that we would ask for. But we have to ask for it, and we have to receive it. I hear often, I have trouble receiving. Well, as long as you cannot receive, you cannot feel freedom. You cannot be wealthy. You cannot be healthy. You cannot have all the love that you deserve. There has to be, it's the game of life. There has to be a give, a receive, a give, a receive. It's a flow. And we're taught if we receive, we're takers. No, takers are their own category. And eventually takers will have things taken from them because what you put out, you then receive. It's so important to feel love for yourself first and then give love to others. And again, when you're challenged to take a step back and give yourself that moment of breath first. It's also so important to forgive yourself when you have a human moment, to be kind to yourself, to know who you are, to have wonderful thoughts. I say this, perhaps now every day. The centered moment, the present moment. Just in the present, not thinking of the past, not wondering about what's going to happen in the future, the what ifs, the worries. If you can center yourself as much as possible, you'll thrive. You will get the inspirations for thriving. You will get the assistance of thriving. You will get all the help that you need. And you will be calm. And you will be tranquil. And you will feel free. I heard this week more than once, I can't stop worrying. I can't help myself. The truth of the matter is that the number one regret when we go to heaven is worry. It is a complete waste of time. It doesn't change anything. It just doesn't. It only brings anxiety within you. It only takes away your happiness. That's all it does. it doesn't change one outcome. The second regret is that I didn't express myself in love enough. I didn't say it. I didn't hug. I didn't let that person or people know. I only gave what I was able to give, and I'm sorry about that. I wish I could have given more. Live your life without these regrets. Thrive. If you want to take a trip, never say I can't. I can't afford it. I don't know when I can. I have to do this first. The universe will send you a way to go on that trip. Say to yourself and feel, I don't know how, but I'm in the process of being able to do it. Just allowing that help is enough. Don't shut the door. Don't lock the door. Don't lock the window. Allow the help. Allow the thriving. See the awareness of the lessons. See the lessons. Have that awareness. Energy will always show you where you're at. Always. And it's so fixable. I grab things in a moment. Uh-oh, I'm here. Oh, good, I'm here. You'll know you're thriving, by the way, is when people around you are being different towards you. Maybe they want to let you up in line in a store for no reason. Maybe they just want to bring in something for you. Maybe they just want to let you out. Yesterday I was leaving my office and someone said, no, you go, in traffic. It was a walker. They had the right of way. They're like, no, I want you to go. That's when you know you are thriving. When kindness is coming at you. When you get breaks. I remember shopping around Christmas and someone just saying, I want to give you this sale break. And just because I want to. That's a sign of thriving. It's good. When people don't want to, there's something up. It's either a test to you, or most likely you're in survival mode instead of thriving. Survival mode is what's passed down from our ancestors. It's living in fear. It's living in insecurity. I can't do that because the money might run out. I have to save for a rainy day. Which, by the way, yes, it's good to save. But when you're preventing yourself from living, that's different. Survival mode is looking for issues. Being on guard. Not trusting. Being pessimistic about the world. The world overall is really good. People overall are good. The majority are good. Make sure that you view that and focus on that. So let's say you have a trend where every time you think you're on the up and up, your car breaks down. That's energy. Based in fear. Based in survival. Look at it for the blessing that it is and see what you can do to get into that better feeling. And if it involves another person, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Try that out and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to seeing you next week or talking to you next week. If you are hearing this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. There's a part of me that keeps wanting to say, go Eagles. But I have clients all over the world. And so enjoy your Sunday. And also, by the way, follow me on Instagram under Spirit Teacher Lisa Hop. And I just wish you a wonderful day with all the best. And I'll talk to you next time.